for your legal opinion. Shana, can you talk about the significance of what has just been revealed?
Sure. So I think, we have had stories, including one in USA Today in May 2006, that have said that the government is collecting, basically all the phone records from a number of large telephone companies. What's significant about yesterday's disclosure is that it's the first time that we've seen the order to really appreciate the sort of staggeringly broad scope of what one of the judges on this Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court approved of, and the first time that we can now confirm that this was under Section 215 of the Patriot Act, which, has been dubbed the libraries provision because people were mostly worried about the idea that the government would use it to get library records. Now we know that they're using it to get phone records. And just to see the immense scope of this warrant order, when most warrants are very narrow, is really shocking as a lawyer.
Well, some might argue that the Obama administration at least went to the FISA Court to get approval for this, unlike the Bush administration in the past.
Right. Well, we don't know if the Bush administration was, getting these same orders, and if this is just a continuation, a renewal order. Right? It lasted for only, it's supposed to last for only 3 months, but they may have been getting one every 3 months since 2006 or even earlier. When Congress reapproved this authority in 2011, one of the things Congress thought was, well, at least they'll have to present these things to a judge and get some judicial review, and Congress will get some reporting of the total number of orders. But when one order covers every single phone record for a massive phone company like Verizon, the reporting that gets to Congress is going to be very hollow. And then similarly, when the judges on the FISA Court are handpicked by the Chief Justice, and the government can go to a judge, as they did here in North Florida, who was appointed by Ronald Reagan, who's 73 years old and is known as a draconian kind of hanging judge in his sentencing, and get some order that's this broad, I think both the judicial review and the congressional oversight checks are very weak.
And of course, this is just Verizon because that's what Glenn Greenwald of The Guardian got a hold of. That doesn't mean that there aren't other orders for the other telephone companies,
Absolutely.
Right? Like Bell South, like AT&T, et cetera,
right.
as there have been in the past.
Yeah, those were companies mentioned in that USA Today story in 2006. Nothing about the breadth of this order indicates that it's tied to any particular national security investigation, as the statute says it has to be. So some commentators yesterday said, well, this order came out on, it's dated 10 days after the Boston attacks, but it's forward-looking. It goes forward for 3 months. Why would anyone need to get every record from Verizon Business in order to investigate the Boston bombings after they happened?
And William Binney, a decades-long veteran of the NSA, your reaction when you heard about this news?
Well, this was just the FBI going after data. That was their request. And they're doing that because if they want to try to get it, they have to have it approved by a court in order to get it as evidence into a courtroom. But NSA has been doing all this stuff all along, and it's been all the companies, not just one. And I basically looked at that and said, well, if Verizon got one, so did everybody else. Which means that, they're just continuing the collection of this kind of information on all U.S. citizens. That's one of the main reasons they couldn't tell Senator Wyden with his request of how many U.S. citizens are in the NSA databases. There's just, in my estimate, it was, if you collapsed it down to all uniques, it's a little over 280 million U.S. citizens are in there, each in there several hundred to several thousand times.